your current commercial stream is basically quote unquote giving away money on the street.
Yeah.
So tell me about that a little bit, and then tell me what the social media plans are for the growth of VryfID.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the social media stuff is so powerful. So like doing stuff out of the box is a good way to get the word out there and get people to think about it. So it actually didn't take me too long to think about it. I was like, what crazy thing can I do to get the word out there? So I was like, okay, I could go out in the streets with a wad of cash and offer to pay people's rent if they send me all their documents in less than 30 seconds.
Okay.
So it's a challenge. Most people can't do it unless they have all their documents organized, which is very unlikely. So if you have VryfID, you have all your documents in one place. You can send me in one link. It takes you 5 seconds. And then I pay your rent. So I paid a couple people's rent on the street, which has been interesting. They had the app. So that's the whole promotion of the app, is like, it's a simple way for people who see the video. Okay, even if I don't care about this app at all, I want to bump into this guy in the street because he might pay my rent. So I'll download the app.
Welcome again, everybody, to the Zelnik Exchange. I am your host, Cory Zelnik, and today I have the opportunity to spend some time with my friend Gabe Einhorn. And we are friends because of one thing: social media. That's what brought us together, and we'll dig into that a little bit. So let me first tell you about Gabe, and we'll go from there. Gabe is the co-founder and CEO of VryfID, a PropTech startup building a security and verification layer for real estate by organizing and verifying identity and documents before deals begin. He has worked in commercial real estate on the finance side, doing over $10 million in transactions. He runs a company called Praise that he founded, a purpose-driven brand focused on faith and community, and is a former collegiate soccer player who competed with Team USA. Gabe is known for building real relationships and helping young people find practical paths into competitive industries. Welcome, Gabe.
Thanks for having me. I like that intro.
Well, you wrote it. I just read it. I'm so glad you're here. And, you know, we've gotten to know each other. It's probably coming up on a year or so now.
Just about.
And like I said, social media brought us together. But let's start with Gabe Einhorn at the beginning. Tell me about the competitive soccer stuff. I love the sports. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know you like sports, especially the Knicks, so that's also why we like each other.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, soccer I've been playing my whole life. My dad's from Israel, so he got me into soccer at a young age, which was very different than most of my friends growing up in like Jewish school. Everybody played basketball, hockey, football, and like I was the only kid who played soccer.
Really?
And it was hard at first. I started playing travel, so I played with kids outside of the community, and really shaped me.
And this is where? I think
Teaneck, New Jersey.
In Teaneck, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was actually some good soccer teams out there, and played travel, met a lot of cool people, and that's how I first branched out outside of the community. And it was important for me to meet new people outside of school and get out of my comfort zone to meet them. From there, continued to play at a high level, really committed to it. I played hockey a little bit in high school too, just because my friends played it, so it was fun.
Sure.
I played travel soccer, and then I played in Mexico in 2019 for Team USA. We won the gold medal. That was probably the coolest experience in my life. We went to Mexico for 2 weeks. We won in the finals against Argentina in penalty kicks. Wow. Which was incredible.
That's a great story to have forever.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was just turning 18.
Nice.
I was, I guess, 17 at the time.
That's great.
It was so cool. From there, I played college soccer at Yeshiva University for 3 years. And I played in Argentina 2 years ago for Team USA. We did not win, unfortunately.
Okay.
We can't win them all. And then I played in Madrid for a little bit in Spain.
Nice. And I think that over the years, it has sort of become cliche, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. The discipline that came with the sports, and especially the team sports, and going to the level that you did, you see that translate into what you do today, what you've done with your real estate finance work.
100%. I was just talking to Amy Calandrino, who was
Hello,
also
Amy.
on the hike with us, and she was asking me also about sports, how it plays a role, and I said, being in the workforce myself personally and seeing people around me who were involved with competitive sports growing up, whether they played at a high level or whether they just played for a high school team, but it was still competitive.
Right.
It taught you, number one, discipline and commitment, because you're committed to a team, you're committed to a higher goal, a shared goal with the team. And you know that every day you got to wake up, you got to go to practice, you got to play the game, you got to lock in, you got to eat well, you got to sleep well. It's those basic things that if you didn't have that experience at all growing up, it's hard to get into the workforce coming out of school and then all of a sudden you have all these responsibilities and disciplines when you might wake up one morning and you're like, I don't want to work today, and you might not get out of bed.
Right.
But if you have that discipline, you know, okay, when I commit to something, I got to do it. That's a big lesson I learned from sports.
Yeah, a lot of my peers, meaning people that have been in the business for a long period of time, when we get resumes, quite frankly, we go to the bottom of the resume first, where it talks about activities, and you want to see what they've done, and if you see the sports stuff, it changes a tone of an interview, and we love seeing that. So that's great to hear.
Yeah.
So you come out of school, you finish up the soccer, maybe you play it now, club sport, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. You're in the world. You got to make a living.
Yep.
What's the first move?
Yeah, so I actually started working real estate while I was still in school.
Okay.
I started my MBA at Yeshiva University to play a couple more seasons of soccer.
All right.
And I was able to take classes at night, so I decided I wanted to get into real estate. And it was 3 years ago now. I downloaded LinkedIn for the first time. It's like, this is how people get jobs.
Okay.
I'll reach out to a bunch of real estate people in the area.
Of course.
Cold DM'd a bunch of them. Cold called a couple of them. Said, hey, I'm 20 years old. I want to work in real estate. How can I get a job?
Okay.
And I actually got an offer for a place in New Jersey when I was still living at home at the time.
All right.
Doing capital markets. I had no clue what it was. I thought, okay, real estate, I'm going to go sell houses. Okay. And I get there the first day. They're like, okay, you get the job. You had the balls to, reach out and ask for a job. We'll hire you.
They also weren't paying you.
Exactly. So that's
no offense.
I didn't realize at the time how low a barrier of entry it is to get into real estate. And like for the fact if you pick up the phone, you'll likely get a job if you have enough courage to do that.
Yep.
And I get there the first day, they start talking about debt financing and getting mortgages and loans on commercial real estate. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I have no clue what this is. And I was like, okay, I committed to it. I'll stick it out. Was there for about 3.5 months, learned the basics of the industry, moved to the city, moved to another company doing the same thing.
Okay.
Started getting the hang of it. It took me actually 15 months to close my first deal. Yeah. It was slow. It was tough.
But I will tell you, we're in the leasing side of the business. But everybody that sits with me from day, from what I call their day one in the business, I tell them to strap it. We have a nice conversation. We have an interview. I like them. We talk about the business. I try not to blow smoke up anybody's ass. I give them the straight poop.
Got it. Yeah.
And then I say to them, listen, it's going to be 18 to 24 months before there's something that resembles real money.
Yeah.
And so go home, talk to your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, whoever it is that's important to you as it relates to your finances.
Yeah.
So they understand that you're not bringing home shit for a while. and so
it's a serious conversation. Yeah, but you got to commit to it. I just brought on 2 of my friends to get into the capital markets. They started in September time, and I'm like, you got to be realistic with yourself. It's going to go, at least 18, maybe even 2 years.
That's right.
Of not seeing a penny or any money that's going to help you live.
Yep.
You got to have either savings in place or, move back home. I was living at home when I started, so thankfully I got home. I had a bed to sleep in. I had food. My mom made me every night. I didn't need anything.
Yeah.
Then when I moved to the city, it was a little tougher, and I had to have some money saved up. But then I finally started closing deals. You start getting momentum.
Absolutely.
But you got to build up the book of business, and then you start getting there. But I like what you said, straight poop.
You have to, because I always feel like that if you come in, we speak on the phone or we communicate, I check your LinkedIn, you look up the website, and I bring you in, right? And then I can blow smoke up anybody's ass, tell them how great the world is.
For sure,
and I'd be lying.
Yeah.
Because in 6 months, when nothing's happened and you're crying,
you can quit.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I just say, hey, look, this is what it is. This is how it works. And this is where you start. This is how you get to here, and so on and so forth. But it's time consuming. It's a process. And at the same time, it ain't rocket science.
Yeah.
It's about effort.
Yeah,
and discipline, which goes back to the sports,
of course.
And that's why it all comes together.
It all ties in for sure.
No, absolutely.
It was something I saw when I first started. Also, I started following Kyle Matthews, and he's built a massive business.
Absolutely.
And he said one of the biggest things was he's obviously a former football player. His brothers played in the NFL, and he's like, I hire athletes.
Brothers, dads, uncles, everybody in that family.
He told me a crazy story actually when I met him in Nashville, and he's like, the reason why I worked so hard to build up my company is because I was the only brother who didn't make the NFL.
Right.
So I was like, I had something to prove, and he was like, I make more money than all of them now. You know,
he played at USC. He really sucked. He couldn't make it to the NFL.
He was close, but I mean, just living
know.
in his brother's shadow. You know, Clay Matthews is tough. But I mean, it all comes down to sports too.
Yeah, no, it finds its way back, and I think that another way to look at, one day or this day you're going to be hiring people, and so you can give them the same speech that I gave, and the things that Kyle told you, and all the things that you're absorbing, but there's two people to look at, right? There's the one who's disciplined like yourself and living at home, so there's a certain amount of pressure that's not there, and the other person is the one who's not living at home and is bootstrapping and is hungry. Yeah. And you want to find that guy too. That's
good too, yeah.
And so you got to keep an eye out because I think that when you interview people, okay, the resume is great. Yeah. Most of the time they went to a nice school, whatever. We're not necessarily in a business where the Harvard MBAs are coming to get into it. Yeah. But you see the resume and that's great. But you want to know the person. Of course, you want to read the person. So there's a psychology to it. Just the same, but we've diverted. Let's come on back. You're doing real estate finance, right? You're probably still doing some of that now. I'm sure you keep your finger on it a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Been taking a step back since things heated up, but
good. So then, at what point does your company Praise come into play? And first and foremost, please describe what it is, what you're doing, and etc.
Yeah. So started it about a year and a half ago, so last summer 2024. It was something that kind of just came to me. It was interesting. I was watching, it was when Trump almost got shot at his rally, or a random reporter, I was like watching the news because it was like a crazy thing, and some reporter was like, this was an act of ungodliness, or it was an act of somebody who doesn't believe in God. Okay. And I was like, okay, that's very interesting to think about. And I sat with it and I had the idea. I was like, I like clothing, I like streetwear, and I have, a connection with God. Okay. I want to make something cool where I could relate to people across all walks of life, connect to God in a way that it doesn't matter what religion you are, what background you're from, but just having open conversations with God. Okay. And I was in the real estate world. I started talking to people a little bit about, faith in God, and people said, don't talk about politics, don't talk about God. Like, those are the two rules.
That's interesting.
So, as I started having those conversations, that's interesting. Like, I understand politics because,
the politics part, yes.
Not worth it. It's never going to go well.
Well, you're right. And you have to remember, because whether you're doing your finance or what have you, you're a service provider. Yeah. And, you broker. You're effectively a broker. And we broker. And our job is to facilitate the deals. We don't sign the deals. We have to facilitate the deals. And somewhere in the middle of that, you don't want to offend.
Exactly. So you got to make sure you're pleasing everybody. So you got to keep a neutral stance. But I mean, God, I didn't understand, because it's like, okay, maybe religions people get sensitive about too, but God in general, talking about faith, I didn't see a problem with it. So I said, okay, how can I make this normal? Right. And I started going out to the streets in New York City and interviewing random people. This was last March, so not even a year ago yet. Went out with a friend. I called up a friend. I'm like, come to New York City. I need your help. He just started filming me for like 2 hours, walking up to random people. Hey, do you believe in God? Did you pray today? What does faith mean to you? What would you tell God right now if you could speak to him? Stuff like that. And it's been going now for like 10 months. We have the Colden brand around it, but the movement itself has been really cool. Talking to amazing athletes, influencers, people with big followings. Sure. And just talking about God. So it's been a little fun side hobby.
And I think, I follow you. I follow you religiously, pun intended. But I think so far in what I've seen, I think only when you've asked the question, will you take $1 million or have dinner with God or lunch with God or something, I think only one person has wanted the $1 million. Yeah. Everybody else wanted to meet God.
No, someone said $1 million because, well, a couple people said $1 million like for like not such good reasons. Okay. Someone had a good answer. He said, I would take the $1 million because I could speak to God all the time and I could just ask him for more money.
Okay, it's a clever answer.
Yeah,
it's a
whatever.
Answer.
A lot of people had clever answers with it, but it was a fun question. I just started doing that question maybe like a month ago because I was like, I want to change it up, make it a little more exciting. Sure. And I've gotten some good responses from there.
Good. I look forward to watching that stuff. Yeah. So Praise. I know you're wearing one of the T-shirts.
Yeah,
now.
Still got to get you on orange.
Because I've done my God interview. If you remember out in Palm Desert.
Yes, yeah.
So you and I were out in Palm Desert together for the CREI Summit.
Yep.
Shout out to Ken Ashley and the team for what they do out there. And everyone knows that I'm an early riser. My good friend James Nelson, who you know, is also an early riser, not as early, but early as just the same. And so James and I planned to go climb. They had like some mountain climbing situation out there, and you hopped on board. So you showed us something by showing up. We did at 5 or 6 a.m. I forgot.
It was before the sun came out. So
it was before the sun came up, right? Because we got to the top. We got to the mountaintop literally
sunrise,
with the sunrise. So that was a lot of fun spending some time with you. You know, you get to talk and understand people. And
I remember how you convinced me to go also because it was the first night.
Okay.
And maybe you asked me if like what I'm doing in the morning. I'm going to the gym, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym, whatever.
Right.
And you're like, you could go to the gym anytime. How often you get to hike a random mountain in the middle of Palm Desert with a couple cool people? I'm like, you're right.
So we had some good time, right? It was you and I and James did it,
and then Amy came the next day.
And then we caught Amy on the next day.
Yeah.
So we had a good
spot. Yeah, she saw us on the way back on the first time, and she's like, I gotta
do this. I gotta do this. So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun spending time with you out there.
That was good.
Just the same. Now, here we are.
Yes, sir.
VryfID.
Yes, sir.
It's the thing. Tell us all about it, and then I'll ask you how much money you're giving away on the street.
So we started in July time. It was actually funny because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my career. I was having a good time with the real estate stuff, with the finance, but I thought I wanted to make a change, do something a little different. So I was kind of stuck looking for other opportunities, whether it was maybe investment sales, leasing. I was talking to a couple startups who wanted to hire me. And then my brother came home in July. He was looking for an apartment in New York City. Okay. He's a junior in NYU in college, and him and two friends. And they're going through the whole process, just saying how messy it was, number one, with collecting all the documents, and number two, with the security of sending those documents throughout the transaction, and how fast it goes. They lost out on a lot of apartments because they just couldn't get all the documents gathered, calling up the guarantors. You know, one dad, hey, send me these documents. Other dad, send me these documents. And then it was just a mess. So that's how the initial idea came. We're like, okay, we can make a secure profile for any individual to upload and store all their personal documents on their phone, whether it's for the rental process, for medical documents, tax documents, whatever it is. You have a secure portal on your phone where you have access to those documents at any time.
Okay.
From there, we decided, hey, we want to make this a little more safe and secure by actually verifying the identity of the people on the platform. So the idea from there came because we said, okay, we're dealing with a lot of security and secure and sensitive information.
Right.
How do we make that even safer? Well, if you verify the identity of people on both sides of the transaction, you know that you're sending your secure information to somebody and it's safe.
So let me ask you a question. And people are providing you with information, right? They're filling out forms and the social security numbers, driver's license, and all that stuff. And I'm totally naive on this. Do you have liability? You know, what is VryfID's protection against, because now you have all this data. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, it's on our platform. So it's a lot of legal stuff that
I would imagine
we're not technically liable for your information.
Okay.
Because you still have free will to send it out. We're giving you a secure and safe way to store it, but you could send it to people, and if I send it to you, I could choose that only you have access to it. It's done securely, encryptions, passwords, all that stuff.
Right.
But we can't, like, we have some legal stuff we have to cover to make sure that we're not liable for it.
That's so when you do those, like whether it's DocuSign or whatever you do, and then where you have to check the box that says I agree. That's the 5 pages
that nobody reads.
Nobody reads of small print. That's what
you got to keep yourself safe. So we use some of those to keep ourselves safe.
Right.
But so then the verification aspect was that, okay, if I'm transacting with you, let's say you're my broker and I'm leasing a retail store from you. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting my documents, you, number one, want to make sure that I am who I say I am. And number two, you want to make sure that my documents that I'm sending you are actually legit.
Okay.
Right? You spend a lot of time going back and forth with potential tenants. So why do you not actually verify them up front instead of waiting until the closing table where you're like, hey, this company's not going to sign this retail lease with us. It's been 2 months of negotiating, touring, talking. Now we're going to run a background check and a credit check on them. Mm-hmm. And now what happens if they are fraud or they don't have the money? So you just wasted 2 months of your time.
Right.
So the idea is now for us, for brokers who are dealing with those transactions, they could pre-verify you up front, your identity and your income. Okay. So you know from the jump that you're dealing with somebody legit. And then me as a potential renter, potential tenant, I want to verify your identity to make sure that you're a legit broker and you're not trying to scam me.
Interesting. So again, in tracking your posts and things like that, I see it more. I was I guess in my brain, I was looking at it more from the resi side.
Yeah.
Because they seem to just want so much more documentation. On the retail side, with the startup, it's typically 2 years of taxes and a credit report.
Yeah.
And you're good. That's the information you need to see whether you go forward or not.
For sure.
So if I'm a landlord on the retail, on the commercial side,
Yeah.
I say, hey, Miss Stephanie, who's starting her new cupcake business, please provide me with information.
Okay.
And she's on Verified.
Yeah.
Right? Verify ID, right? She's on it. She's in the program.
It,
She then presses the button and it comes to me, and
she
securely sends it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine part of your company build is to be out there with the Stephanies who are opening up the cupcake shops.
Yeah.
As much as you are with the people in the resi world.
Yeah, a little bit of everyone. Yeah, it's the idea of, number one, being organized with all your information in one secure place, and then number two, trying to get a leg up that once it becomes normalized to actually verify people in the transaction, because there's so much fraud out there, you want to make sure you're dealing with someone legit. So if you're a potential tenant, a potential buyer, a potential renter, if you have all your documents in one place and you're actually verified legit through us, then that gives you a leg up on the other competition that is either trying to rent that space or buy that property.
Sure. And at this point, I know you're in your infancy of the company. Is it just you, or do you have a salesperson?
Yeah, just me and my brother. So he's still in school, so he's balancing that with college.
He's graduated now, or he's still in school?
Yeah, he's a junior in NYU.
Okay.
And he's handling a lot of the back end stuff. So he talks to the design team. We have a team of 7 designers and engineers who actually build the app for us.
Okay.
They're like a mix of South America. Do
you have any technical? I'm just curious. Do you have any technical background?
Okay, not at all.
No, I'm just the same. I'm the same way.
Yeah, me and my brother have no technical background. My brother learned a lot of it because when we were coming up with the idea, he learned there's like a lot of vibe coding now, so it's easier than ever to do basic coding.
Okay.
It's like the crazy tech that you could do. You could like make an app. Probably you could download like vibe coding stuff and you could type up like some random app.
Right.
Like it's crazy. So he learned how to do that to make the basic design, because if we're not actually coding the design, it's hard for us to tell over with just words to our design team in South America, this is how we want the app to look. Okay. So my brother learned how to do the basics so he could at least send them like the flow of what it looks like so that they could actually execute for us.
See, someone sent me an OM yesterday on a zip drive. I sent the whole thing to Steph. I said, Steph, can you open this? So I hear you loud.
Yeah.
It's interesting as we watch the world and especially the technology world evolve. Yeah. They make it seem like it's so simple. Just ChatGPT or Grok, and they'll tell you how to do it. And
it's tough.
To a certain degree, they do, but the devil's in the details. So. Where are we? Are you at the 6-month point of Verify ID? Where are you?
Just about, yeah. We finished the MVP, which is like the basic level product, around end of October time. So we went out, we were testing it with a couple brokers, landlords, renters, getting the feedback. That's when we realized that the actual verification aspect was the most important, especially for, let's say, landlords in New York City.
Yeah.
Their biggest concern is getting the wrong tenant, because if you get the wrong tenant in New York City, they might not pay you for up to like 18 months, maybe even 2 years. So they want to make sure they get verifications in place early on.
Right.
And broker said, the biggest time waster is just dealing with people that are either unqualified or unmotivated, right? You could just go on Street Easy or Zillow and apply to 100 different apartments and say, hey, I want to tour this. And now you're just talking to a bunch of different brokers and you're not actually motivated to get it, or you might not actually qualify for it.
Right.
So we realized that that's the focus. So probably around end of November time, we started updating the app, and then just about a month ago, we launched the initial version of the web app.
Okay.
We're waiting to launch the iOS app because we're still working on a couple more features,
which
should come in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And you have customers at this point?
You're
in business.
Yeah, we're in business. We just hit over 100 users yesterday, which is good. Yeah, it's exciting. So it's crazy to think about. But it's a lot of hard work. We're starting to host some events now to get the word out there. Got to think of other creative ways.
No, absolutely,
to get people on board. That's why I've been going on the streets and doing some fun content.
Right. So help the old guy.
Yeah.
Right. I go to Verify. What do I do? What does it cost me?
Yeah. So right now it's totally free for users, for everybody.
You're in your beta phase. I get it.
Yeah.
But you
You sign up. You
six more months go by, and people got to start paying up. So
yeah.
I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to lean towards the resi side because I feel like, and maybe you'll learn this more. And I'm speaking from some of my experience. I think you'll see more of it on the resi side,
for sure.
Than the commercial side.
That's what we're thinking.
Right.
Too.
So here I am. I'm a college grad. I moved to New York, and I want to go find an apartment. And I go, I go to Street Easy. I find an apartment. I show up, and they tell me I need bip, and I'm like, I go crazy. And I need it going forward. That's the purpose of VryfID.
Yep.
Now I find out about VryfID, or the broker refers me because you've done your marketing.
Yeah.
And the broker says, go to VryfID. They'll have it for you. So this way, when we go out, we could both just press a button and do it. So I go to VryfID. I'm uploading
bank statements, tax returns. So the idea is what we're adding now for the features for the broker to actually go on the platform and then be able to send you the exact checklist of what is required. Because depending on the building, the landlord, the apartment, whatever it is, they might require a couple different documents.
Right.
So if the broker can now send you on the spot, you're coming to tour the apartment, you like it, bang, I'm going to send you this checklist through VryfID. You upload it, you download it, now you have these 6 documents you got to upload. You upload them all. The broker can track in real time what documents are there, what documents are missing, send you reminders, hey, you're missing these 2 documents. You get an alert on your phone. So that's the idea. So you would get on the app, you sign up, make a profile, you upload the documents that the broker tells you to upload, you do your verification. So everybody has to verify their actual face. It does a liveness check and matches it with your ID card and your social security number. So we verify that you are the human that you say you are.
Brokers, I think, certainly at this stage, are crucial to your business.
Yes, 100%. Yeah,
right? They're your people.
Yep, 100%.
Have you done any kind of presentations like at a Compass or at a...
So we're going to Compass next week.
Okay.
I've spoken to a couple smaller brokerages trying to get on board. We just onboarded last week a small brokerage of like 6 guys.
Okay.
Just like a random brokerage, and trying to get a bunch of those first.
Sure.
We're speaking to a small team in Compass. We don't want to go yet to the whole company.
Right.
Like we're not ready for that. We got to get a little more traction, a little more users till we do that. But right now, we got a couple brokers on.
No, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. I think that part of, going all the way back to, how you and I met, right? I would imagine with what you're doing, I mean, I see you doing it, but I would imagine social media is going to be a tremendous part of your elevation.
For sure.
Of Verify, right? Now I'll hit you with the funny stuff, and then you'll tell me about the serious stuff. But lately, your current commercial stream is basically, quote unquote, giving away money on the street.
Yeah.
So tell me about that a little bit, and then tell me what the social media plans are for the growth of Verify.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the social media stuff is so powerful. So like doing stuff out of the box is a good way to get the word out there and get people to think about it. So it actually didn't take me too long to think about it. I was like, what crazy thing can I do to get the word out there? So I was like, okay, I could go out in the streets with a wad of cash and offer to pay people's rent if they send me all their documents in less than 30 seconds.
Okay.
So it's a challenge. Most people can't do it unless they have all their documents organized, which is very unlikely. So if you have VryfID, you have all your documents in one place. You can send me in one link. It takes you 5 seconds. And then I pay your rent. So I paid a couple people's rent on the street, which has been interesting. They had the app. So that's the whole promotion of the app, is like, it's a simple way for people who see the video. Okay, even if I don't care about this app at all, I want to bump into this guy in the street because he might pay my rent. So I'll download the app.
So under the assumption that these are not actors that you come across on the street, how is that guy who, I don't know them obviously, but that guy who you bump into says, "Oh, I know you, and I have the app."
Yeah.
So he was all prepared. So you got to give him a chunk of cash.
Yep.
How did he have the app? Why
he said he saw me on social media.
Totally random.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cat's out of the bag. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. But that's the goal. Is that
but I appreciate
once we get like 1 or 2 people that actually
Sure.
is totally not legit.
Yeah.
Like that totally saw us on social media that I've never met before, and he actually has the app. That's when I know, okay, it's working. Now I'm gonna stop walking around with money on the street.
Go get the one who doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And so then you could prompt them to go get it.
I've had a couple videos where people didn't have it. That was the idea. But I was like, I got to do a couple staged ones with people. So I give them the money to show. The idea now is that, okay, people see that. random people that see the video.
Sort of like the Hard Knocks guy who just meets people randomly.
Yeah, randomly bumps into billionaires on the corner.
Oh, by
of the
the
street.
way.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy.
Oh,
to
by the
bump
way,
into
Tom
billionaires.
Brady, while you're standing here, right? That's all good. It's all good.
I happen to walk by you, yeah. But I mean, nowadays social media, like most people think it's real, so you can't really tell, which is the cool part.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So what is the social? Is there a social media goal? Like, I think, if you were looking at, people would say if you're going to go into an advertising and marketing program, right? You figure out like commercials. All right, we're going to spend X dollars for the Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Is there a social media plan for what you're doing?
Yeah, we're going to start getting into like paid ads soon.
Okay.
We haven't done it yet. Just getting it organically first, making sure that we're testing out the right videos to do, because the biggest thing with ads is that, number one, they add up very quickly.
Sure.
Especially on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Right.
So you want to test that organic stuff first to see, okay, these videos work well. Those are the ones that are worth actually putting, $50,
right,
$100
but okay, so and maybe I misspoke on the question. In your organic approach,
yeah,
do you have a plan? Or is it, I'm going to wake up and it's like, all right, it's Tuesday, it's not raining, I'm going to go hit the streets?
Yeah, so I try to film every other Sunday.
Okay.
I'll get a batch of content in. So I'm doing like the day 20, day 21, where I'm like tracking the progress. That gets people to buy into the vision. Mm-hmm. And then a mix of like the street interviews and then educational content. Gotcha. So talking about fraud, scams, type that stuff, why it's important to keep your documents and information safe and why it's important to verify people. And then doing the street interviews, talking to people about their experience renting an apartment, what's the worst part about it, and then obviously doing the challenge too. And I try to record those probably every other Sunday, because you get them in 4, 5, 6 hours and you get good recording in, and then I don't got to worry about it during the week, because I don't want to go out on a random Tuesday and record in the middle of the day when I got other stuff to do.
And how and you do your own editing, things like that at this
point? I have an editor now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's overseas, so
I mean, I think it's great. I think you have a tremendous amount of stuff going on. I think that when you look at who you are, and quite frankly, dare I say, I'm proud of you and watching you evolve, and it's really a great thing to see. Your entrepreneurial drive is fabulous. I think that I would say to you, I guess my last question for the moment would be, how are you balancing VryfID, praise, financing, whatever, all this stuff you got going on? Are you doing it well? Are you doing them all well?
It's a good question. Something I've been thinking about for a while.
Okay.
And that's why I've stepped away from the financing side of things to really put my focus on VryfID. It's funny, people ask me like, how do you balance so many things? It's like, okay, first of all, like there's 24 hours in a day.
Okay.
So there's enough time to actually get everything important done if it's really important to you.
Yep.
And I have friends also like that ask me to do other things. I'm like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. Like I work on Saturday nights, I work on Sundays.
Right.
I literally only 25 hours that I'm not doing anything is Shabbat, because I don't go on my phone. So Friday night sundown until Saturday night sundown, I'm offline 25 hours.
Right.
Aside from that, I'm working, but it doesn't feel like work to me, just because I'm having fun with the journey.
That's great.
I get an opportunity to go build something with my brother and build something that is from the ground that is meaningful to me. So it doesn't feel like work, which is a good part.
Good.
And taking away from the financing side of things and putting my full focus on VryfID. Praise for me, it's been tough because I really care about it, but I haven't been able to really put any work into it. It's just there. It's slowly growing, like organically, where like I have the editor who posts the videos for me, and I'm really hands off with it.
Right.
So eventually, I'll come back to it, and when I have time, when VryfID grows, and I'll be able to put more effort into praise. But right now, full focus on VryfID. Get workouts in the morning, take care of my body, my health, morning prayers, and then just focus the rest of the day. So
Excellent. Gabe Einhorn, it's a pleasure every day watching you evolve. I look forward to what's going to happen to you over the next 10, 15, 20 years. I appreciate you spending some time with me, and maybe a few months down the road, 6 months down the road, we revisit this and we see how you blossomed.
Yes, sir.
And I again thank you for your time, and look forward to doing it again real soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.